I'm Cody.
And I'm Mandy. This is Gavin, and he is the second of our 6 children. The age span is from 9 months old to 12 years of age. Gavin has oppositional defiance disorder, which looks like a really angry child that goes off at a light switch and doesn't calm down for sometimes hours. I mean, his anger could last more than half the day easily. It was crazy. I mean, he would threaten to harm himself, other people. He threatened to run away. He would destroy things. It was a rough situation. I mean, with him being the second oldest and expected to be responsible in that respect, it was difficult to keep the others safe, manage the home. Frankly, I had no time for myself as a mom. It was always managing one crisis and one fire. It was never a structure organized. And he thrives in organization, but he always created enough chaos that there was never a chance to provide the structure that he needed for his problem. One of our following instructions tasks was to get him to learn how to follow instructions. And so his job was to, when I addressed him, to look at me, when I made the request, to simply say okay, not argue, and get it done. And one of our funnest ones was folding socks. And he's playing faces now because he doesn't like doing it now, but the first day it was fun because he knew there was a reward coming. So we would start by telling him to fold 3 pairs of black socks, and he'd have to make sure he did really good. I mean, socks are hard. Yeah. And you have to find the right ones, and with 6 people of different shoe sizes and different types of socks, there's a bazillion different types of socks, and the dryer eats too many of them anyway. So, Gabby, what did you feel like when we did socks?
Willing to do it.
Mm-hmm. And beforehand, that would have created a war, not a battle. Gavin, one day, and he'll remember why more than I would, but he got angry. We went into a war, and he used a reading trophy that he'd earned at school to completely demolish his bedroom door from the inside and all the way through. It was no longer a door, it was a tunnel to his bedroom. And we didn't really quite know what to do at that point. And this happened during our intervention. It was during one of the rougher weeks that you have, because they happen. And so we sat down and we looked at him and said, Gavin, you've destroyed your door. And he looked up at us. We praised him for looking up at us. We praised him for responding that he'd heard what we'd said. And we said, the consequence is that you are going to lose everything in your room except your bed and your dresser with clothing. And I left just because when I took everything out of his room, I felt a little bit bad about it. I left a box from my brother who's living in Pennsylvania and who he misses really bad. So he had one possession outside of what the state requires. Until he successfully did odd jobs around the house here for grandma and for other people, until he earned enough money to replace his own door. That was the consequence that was set, is he lost all of his possessions until the door was replaced. It took him all summer, but he did it. You have to have steps, and when you don't have them, it's really confusing. When Jeanette and Melissa got done with us, I was so excited. I'm like, why can't we go to the hospital and teach all the moms before they even leave with their newborn these steps? And she's like, well, we're not that far yet. And you have to come off to understand, I came from a family. I'm the oldest of 7 kids. I really felt like I had a handle on parenting when I started this mess of 6. And I love it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. But I really thought that I knew what I was doing. And when Gavin was so intense all of the time, I no longer knew what to do to keep him safe from himself and the others safe from him, that we actually almost sent him away. And I realized at that point I didn't know as much as I thought I did. And it was a really humbling experience. We tried several different parenting programs before having help from the youth village, and I was so grateful when they came and they shared with us really easy steps. There were other programs that offered steps, but they just weren't they didn't stay in my head as well as these did. These actually made sense. They weren't tell the child, 1, 2, 3, go to your room, stay there all day. They weren't like that. They made sense. They combined logic, and they taught us how to deliver a consequence lovingly and still let the child accept responsibility, and that was so helpful. And it's been so much easier just to run the home that way. We're now, it's what, January. This has been since October, and our home runs so much smoother.
With this program that came in about week 4, how long was the program?
6.
6 weeks. About week 4 is when I was just about at my breaking point, thinking there's nothing that was going to help him. And week 5, week 4, week 5, it started really turning around. And it was just like a breath of fresh air. It was just like the Hallelujah chorus started playing in the back of my mind, because I seriously thought there was no hope for him. When we started this program, the evaluation we had for him was, I think, 30 points higher than 150 points higher than the institutionalized recommendation. And then when he got done, he was probably 20 points below that recommendation. Our instructors had never seen such a dramatic change like that. They said the biggest one they saw was a 15-point difference, and after that they thought that was just a miracle.
Well, he's so much more fun to be around, so we spend more time doing the things that he wants to do because we want to, rather than because we feel coerced or threatened into it. And he's more amiable and allows the other siblings to have turns and chances and other things without having a total battle, because he realizes if they get to do what they want and I get to do what I want, then we get to do more fun things than we have before, because there's more energy, there's more time, because we are spending so much less energy controlling how he's behaving and protecting everybody. There's more time to play games, which is one of his most favorite things to do. There's more time to let them sit down and just kind of veg, and we like to do family movie nights. We've had more of those, and he's been so excited because Cody will just say, "Hey, family movie night, this is what we're doing," and we'll put in a movie and we'll all just crash, and sometimes I'll make popcorn and the hot chocolate, as you guys saw earlier today, and there's more time for that, and there's more energy for that.
We're so glad that this is something that taught us how to react to these situations.
Not giving up was the hardest part of it, though. That's the one thing about learning anything that has steps. You have to be willing to be consistent, especially if you have a child that's as intense as our son. I mean, you have to be willing to be consistent. Consistency is hard. It can be really exhausting, but it's worth it to be patient with it.